A very good day to each and every one of you on the live today. Do let us know if you are. Do let us know if you're reading us loud and clear. Good folks, we trust that you are well. We trust that you're good. Do let us know if you're good, folks. Wherever you're joining us from, hope you're well. How's the weather where you guys are? How's lunch going? Brunch? Maybe it's late. Maybe it's late as your end. It's dinner already. It's 29 degrees where we are weather-wise. A 2% chance they tell us it's going to rain. 29 degrees outside, but they're telling us it feels as though it is 36 degrees. Yep. Good to have each and every one of you on the live. 29 degrees outside. They're telling us it feels as though it is 36 degrees. How is the weather where you folks are joining us from today? Do let us know. How is the weather where you wonderful, beautiful folks are coming in from? We'd surely like to know, how is the weather? How is the weather? Is it good? In between, maybe? Is it well? Is it well, good folk? Is the weather well? Yep, this is a live shot of the East Bank at Houston on the East Bank. That's a live shot. Traffic moving along nicely. I saw some things just now. My Lord. I don't like to look outside too often. I saw some gymnastics with some vehicles just now. But this is a live shot, folks. Live shot of the East Bank. Gil Alicock, we see you there. And Siobhan McDonald, Roxanne Garaway. Joy Hopkinson says the sun is out in Bardica. Roxanne Garaway. Sandra Facey. That's a live shot of the East Bank. Compliments of Pixel Guyana Inc. Share the live, folks. Smash that emoji button. We got a lot to cover. So why don't we get going? We got a lot to cover, folks. A lot we got to cover. That's some what's happening. A live shot. Houston on the East Bank. Compliments of Guyana Pixel Inc. Live shot. Yep. You see the truck parked right by the car there? Just over the car, another vehicle parked right there. A lot of ticks. We see when we're looking outside, folks. But we're happy to be here with you guys. We want to give you a check of some of what we're following, folks. What's trending out there? Quite a few things, folks. Yep. Quite a few things trending out there. We trust that you're all good. We trust you're all well. Wherever you're coming in from, good people, we are tracking a few things on the outside. And we are delighted that you folks are here with us. Wherever you're rocking and coming from today. Some of you close, some of you far. But good to have each and every one of you with us nonetheless. Wherever you're joining us from. We're going to be talking about some local government things. We're going to be talking about some local government things. Among some other things, touching base with the regional chairman, region number 10, Deron Adams. You know, it's tongue week as well. We can touch base with him about some of those activities too. It's tongue week as well, folks. It's tongue week as well. So we're going to be touching base with the regional chairman on some of those issues too. But look at some of those things we're following, good folks. Internationally, well, I just had to stop today. Because, I feel it for people, whether you're at home here in Guyana or you're joining us from far, who's going to smash that emoji button for us? Come on, folks. Don't get us out here looking tin. They're telling us that, in one entire U.S. state, Pornhub has been blocked. No, I feel it for the pains of my brothers and sisters there in this state in the U.S. They say Pornhub has been blocked there. I feel it for them. We got to sorrow with those that sorrow. I feel it for them. I feel it. You see? I feel it so much. So much I feel for them. Feel it for them. So give us a sec, folks. I want to get the state right. I think if I try to make sure my notes true and correct. Just trying to make sure my notes true and correct. Apologies. Oh, it's always something. But good to have you folks on the live, good people. Good to have you all on the live. You know, I think it's Utah. But Pornhub, they say, because of a piece of legislation, that doesn't fit too well with the business model of Pornhub. You know, they had to shut things down there. Oh boy. Oh, can you imagine the hardships there? You know, the hardships there. See, Bantu King says the people will prevail. I hope so. I feel it. I feel it for them. Right? Feel it for them. I see Roxanne Garvey talking about treating personal journalists a certain way. Roxanne, what is that about? I'm not too certain. Maybe you want to inbox me. I'm not too certain what that's about. I'm not too certain what that's about, Roxanne. Maybe you want to bring us up to speed. Bring us up to speed. All right? So that's one of the things we're following, folks. What's happening there in Utah? We like to be fair to people. You know, they said you gotta mourn with those that mourn. We feel it. We feel it for them. We feel it for them. Things don't get more hard than that. We dare say. You know, just when you think things can get bad, and then it goes and does exactly that. It goes and does exactly that. It goes and get more rough. So we feel it for those folks on that side. You know, and there's a lot happening in Kenya as well. Ultramax, Anne-Marie Selby, Charles Humphrey, Shireen Baines. A lot happening in Kenya as well, folks. They're telling us that Kenyan police clashed with anti-government protesters during demonstrations. Well, the protesters are just crazy. Something's going on there that's causing them to behave like that. You know, we see some dictatorial regimes like the one we got to deal with cropping up all over the place. And people continue to push back. Bantu King, Yolanda Thomas, Ethelene Peters, people continue to push back in various ways. People got time for jumping this, you know. People pushing back. Pushing back. Respect and manners to those folks. Respect and manners to those folks. Gotta stay on the ball. Gotta stay on the ball. Stay out front. It's not easy, but where you got the trench crappos and them, you just gotta keep at it, little by little. And where they got places overseas and under trees that got tendencies like the trench crappos and the jagabats, people gotta push back. And that's what we see happening, folks, largely in places like Kenya. They're stepping up a little bit. But people naturally get this kind of a, what would you call it? A democratic ethos. And will continue to push back. We'll continue to push back. Peace and power to them. Peace and power to the folks there in Kenya. Continuing to make their voices heard. Of course. Continuing to make their voices heard. They tell us that this came around because of how do we put it? Lord of mercy. Lord of mercy. Cost of living and reforms to the Electoral Commission. That's what people are protesting. The cost of living and reforms they want to see. This sounds familiar. Bantu King, Yolanda Thomas, Anthony Jarvis. This sounds a little familiar. Cost of living. Yeah. Following that as well. And then we're following the story of this man who died at a guest house. Now, this one got a lot of twists and turns in it, folks. Found this fella dead at a guest house. Dead at a guest house. But more than that, the family was shocked. The family was shocked as more and more of this story comes to light. As more and more of this story comes to light. So, left to go to work. Left to go to work. And this is how he was discovered Friday afternoon. People at this guest house in Kwamina Street, they said they heard some noise coming from the room. And when they got there, I think this was the receptionist, she said she found the body of Omar Ali. They heard a loud commotion in the room. And when they got there, they saw the body of Omar Ali on the ground, and there was a woman standing over the body. And as they tried to summon the police, Lord, oh Lord, Lord have mercy. Second floor window, the woman jumped through. The woman landed on the ground, bop, got up and kept moving. Folks. Bop, the woman landed on the ground. Yolanda Thomas said supposedly a woman. We come into that, Yolanda. We can test the veracity of that statement, supposedly. And that's what they said. You could tell this is not her first rodeo. She jumped through that window like it was nothing, landed on her feet like a cat, shook herself off in the zephyr, and kept going. She's different. Yolanda Thomas, she's different. Now, when the family was shown the video, they were shocked. Brenda Moore, Bonita Elise Parker, Margaret Nelson. She landed like a cat. Pop on her foot. Dust herself off and she gone. When the family saw the video, the family shocked. Radam. Jesus of mercy. The family shocked. You know why the family shocked? The family shocked because the ladies live opposite them. Folks have thoughts and prayers with the family. The ladies live opposite them. Yes. BHS know the story. Folks, I know the whole thing. We know the whole thing. The ladies live opposite them. But I find this receptionist a little thingish. And I'll tell you why in a second. Folks, smash that emoji button for us. I find the receptionist a little thingish. Here's your neighbor. The family said, Here's your neighbor. The receptionist said this, come this steady. Every Friday. Every Friday there's come there. The woman land on her foot, butt-ups. You see, it's the wrong people we got in the army. It's the wrong people we got in the police force. It's the wrong people we got on track and field. The woman land on her foot like a professional. You could tell it's not your first rodeo. Probably jumped through quite a few windows. Ramilianda, this lady could star in some movie. She would put you on the map the way, what's her name, and put you on the map. I think this is the original Black Panther. This is the woman jumped through the window like nothing. Nothing. Bra on, shot in hand. This is not the first rodeo. It's the neighbor. The family shock. Rami says she's a high jumper. B feels if I attack up, real better. Beatrice, real better. We know the whole thing. We know the whole thing. You see why we got trust issues? You see why? Is them jagabats we must trust? You can't even trust your own neighbor. Is the jagabats in this place, the trench capos, the tadpoles, and the cricketers, we can trust? Eula Rubens want to know if it's man or woman. I don't know. I'm not qualified to make these pronouncements. I know Pornhub, Utah shut down, Kenya police got problems. And then this fella here, that woman jump out the window like it's nothing. You think it's Matrix you're watching. Huh? Like nothing. The family shocked. They said this woman's live over the road. They said this woman's live over the road. Father have his mercies. Woman land on her foot like nothing. Paula Phillips says she got more seeds than Belange. Belange and she thinks. Belange and she category. But our thoughts and prayers, of course, go to the family. No, how? I don't know. The family can move forward with this one. But I saw a report that says foul play. It's suspected. They said the man had a wound to the back of his head and foul play is suspected. Foul play suspected. So our thoughts and prayers go to the family of Omar Ali. That woman jumped through that window like was nothing. Hear me telling you here? Like was nothing. You see, wrong people got in sports. You send she track and field. She a goal coming back, you know. Shireen Baines, Gil Alicock, Ramilianda. You put she in the police force. Crime coming down just like that. Just like that. Crime coming down. My Lord. The wrong people. Wrong places. Wrong people in the wrong places. Yeah. Yolanda says Omar is getting his groove on. Every Friday, the reception said. But folks, you ain't getting no volume. Is that why I see some people saying they ain't getting... Folks, y'all getting volume. Some folks say they ain't getting volume. Folks say they ain't getting volume. We getting volume at our end. We seeing the sound going out, clear as day. Do let us know. Some folks complaining of volume. Y'all check them old phone, yeah? Check them old phone. Donald Joseph said the jumbie bird has to be fed. Daphne Aaron watching us from Plainfield, New Jersey. I can't go jumping out no second floor when at me 8. I can barely jump 2 treader. Gloria Chester says loud and clear. Check them old phone, everybody, eh? Check them Mango Pelter. Brenda Morris, I getting volume. Maureen Joe getting volume. Karen Welcome getting volume. Right? People telling Pennsylvania. Here we good. So Omar found dead in this city guest house. We know the whole thing. That lady jumped through that window like nothing. I could barely jump down 2 tread without my whole back shaking. Second floor, butt up. Folks, you gotta be careful out there. It's every Friday. I worked at a short-time hotel when I was younger. Money got for Mac. Don't come for me. I worked at a short-time hotel. First thing, day one, I think I was a teenager still. During summer breaks, you tuck in, earn a little money. Pansy, Bantu King. I tell you the whole thing. First thing, every guest that come in the short time or a hotel in general, you see them for the first time as a receptionist. You see them for the first. You never ask, Omar, you want the same room like the last time? Whether with the same person to come with or not. This thing was fascinating for me as a young man. Right? As a young man, you can imagine, you're a receptionist at a short-time hotel, and you see your friends walking in. What if you see one of your parents walking, what would you do? You know, every customer that come in, you're seeing them for the first time. That is what I learned. So you never ask, Omar, you want the same room like last week? Whether they were the same person or not. Hello, sir. How might I help you? Took and came. My Lord. Folks, I wouldn't trade the 592 for any country in the world. Maybe for a little bit, but not for a long time. Maybe for 5-10 years or so on, but not for a long time. Never dull moment. Gwyneth Anderson. Never dull moment. Paula Phillips. Never dull moment. As Beatrice says, Tech-Up's bitter. Tonight we can have that footage for you guys. That woman land on 2 foot. I never see the best actor in the world. There's not no stunt double, you know. Huh? There's not no stunt double, you know. This woman doing she stunts herself. The woman get up, steady up and gone. This is not her first rodeo. You can tell she jumped through some windows in she time. You gotta know how to jump, you know. You gotta jump, tuck and roll. Woman did all that. Did all that. Signed up for the army one time. We need people to block bullets by Ankoko. She ain't got you no training. She come prepared. You know, you ever hit the ground running? She hit the ground running. Hit the ground running. I wonder the people passing by in those cars. What they thought. You see the woman just jumped through and just a bop, land on her foot and got. So what the hell? It's Hollywood. Hollywood take one. Ain't no need no stunt double here. Robin Ryan says she must be related to Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise ain't getting nothing punch she. Second floor window. Somebody says Sharon Castillo says she good for high jumping. She'd make high jumping look like nothing. Make high jumping look like nothing. Let it jump out the window like. You know, we in the church. We know such were some of us, you know. Some of y'all could reflect now and laugh. Y'all know y'all jump through a couple windows yourself. Don't come for me, sister, funny. But the family, they shocked. You know, that's the hard part in these things. That's the hard part in these things. It's when the family find out. Because these people probably thought Omar that work. That is the thing with these things. I read part of the report says, and the wife said, I said, oh, shucks, look story here now. Look story here now. The woman living opposite, you can't avoid she now. My Lord. Why don't she go to the funeral? We want the whole story. My Lord. What went wrong there? Folks, we gotta wait for some more of that. We gotta hold for some more of that, you know. Isabella Buttis says she's 007. Right? 007. Vanessa Seymour said he was doing overtime. You know. And I see Luan Hall says Travis Chase just interviewed her. Hold on. Eh? Hold on, folks. I want to know the whole thing. The woman jumped through that window like was nothing. Like was nothing. Huh? So we're looking at the local government end, watching to see what is what and who is who. And we can have the latest with Omar. Our final program for today, Omar Ali, our thoughts and prayers go out to his family, friends, and loved ones. Lord have mercy. But folks, local government is upon us. And they're telling us 46 parties and voluntary groups and individuals are contesting LGE. 46 parties and voluntary groups and individuals are contesting LGE. And of course, APNU, major party, contesting nationally. We call up with some folks in Linden to find out how. We're catching up with some folks in Linden to find out how things are going at that end. Folks, where LG is concerned, and it's Tongue Week in Linden. You know, I got it in some of the action yesterday. Tongue Week in Linden. We wanted to find out how is the campaign going on the Linden front. You know, they're trying with Deron Adams. They're trying with Sharma Solomon. Sharma in the ring tonight, folks. Sharma in the ring tonight. But I want to turn our attention to the current regional chair, Deron Adams. Folks, as we get an update of what's happening there on the ground in Linden, where local government elections are concerned. Where local government elections are concerned.
Regional Chairman, thanks for joining us. Once again, we are in the local government period. The tempo is picking up a little bit. We're seeing a lot of stuff happening in the APNU camp, a lot of foolishness, illegalities happening in the PPP camp. Talk to us about local government election and the campaign in Linden. Let's start here.
All right, so thank you. First of all, today I'm happy to be here in the land of the living. I want to say thanks to the APNU AFC for bringing back local democracy after some 20 years, the absence where we had several IMCs that were set up. And so we're happy that we are able to participate in a process that will ensure that people within the constituencies across our town here at Linden and even at the NDC in Kokwani are given the opportunity to elect genuine people who have their interests at heart. We have seen over the past couple of months, while the APNU would have utilized a similar structure to that what we did in 2018, where we ensured at all times that we kept our constituents' perspective in mind, where our candidates were validated by the people in their community. We did not handpick anyone. It is recommendations that came based on consultations, and we would have met with various groups of people. And so, as you know, the coalition government and coalition politics is all about broad representation. Political parties have to compromise on their opposing ideology to arrive at policies and programs that will benefit you, the people. And so we're happy that the APNU would have done consultation and would have been interacting with several people. Later on in the program, I will, of course, share with you the names of our candidates and their backgrounds. And why it is that our candidates, of course, is better than any other candidate that you will see emerging via the media or whatever other source they will come out. And so we, of course, went through the nomination process. We ensured that our potential candidates and aspiring councillors would have interacted with their constituency. They briefed them, they told them that they were representing the APNU. They told them that the process, of course, for each constituency, you were required to have just close to 60 signatures of people who will support them in the upcoming elections. And so from constituencies 1 to 8 here at Linden, Amelia's Ward, and Bamia, Constituency 1, Retrieve, Carcaros, Pipeline, Constituency 2, Central Mackenzie, Constituency 3, South Mackenzie, Constituency 4, Canvas City, Silvertown, West Watuka, Constituency 5, Christianburg, Constituency 6, Blueberry Hill, Constituency 7, and Wizrock, Block 22, Constituency 8. Our candidates, of course, went into the fields. They got their signatures. They informed the persons what was the reason they were asking them for their signatures, and persons willingly supported our candidates. Against that backdrop, and contrast that with what we are now seeing emerging once we would have submitted our nomination day, there's this issue that came up 24 hours into the nomination submission, where the PPP attempted to practice once again domination and control. We had a confrontation. Well, the returning officer and the People's Progressive Party rep attempted to jumped the line when it was the APNU who was first in line via our submission, via signing in the book there at GCOM. They attempted to come and bully our persons that were there and attempted to take the #1 spot. And of course, the returning officer, who is a very professional person, does not get involved in politics, said to them plain that her information, and based on the records and other evidence that was presented to her, that it was the APNU who submitted their list of candidates first at Linden and at Kokwani. And so many of you saw and you would have heard of the disinformation that was being peddled by officials who are representing the ruling government. But we, of course, persevered, and we were able to submit our list in keeping with the rules that were outlined by GCOM. Once we would have made our submission, we went through the process. GCOM, of course, scanned all of our documents, they input it in the system, and we received a letter that our signatures were approved. Of course, there's a grace period after that where persons can object, and they can, of course, raise concerns whether or not, and you've been seeing what has been coming out in the media of several persons being defrauded in other parts of the country, and even here in Linden. And I heard via a press conference where the vice president would have mentioned that there was a candidate here who, in essence, they were trying to make it appear that that candidate signature was forged, or the candidate was not aware that she was being signed up to serve on the APNU list. And I can say to you that we have evidence in our possession that that candidate approached us to say that she's willing to be a part of our team. However, what occurred within that 72-hour period where persons were being threatened to put on the PPP jersey, especially the 10-day workers, the NDIA workers, the part-time workers, and CDC workers, that if they did not comply, that their contracts, in the case come annual May, June, which is a month away. So, of course, persons were intimidated, and many of them, of course, went the unwilling seats, as we refer to them, and they were forced to participate. And we can say that, and we have been saying this since the other occasions that occurred. The PPP had a barbecue, a fundraising activity here in Linden, and when you look at the images and the video recordings, there was not a single Lindener, maybe with the exception of about 3 of their party comrades. And mind you, they don't have much support here in Linden who were attending the barbecue that was held. And then on March Day, you saw how Linden came out in numbers when there was an attempt to change the match route, again exercising domination and control tactics. And they attempted to change the match route, saying to the public via NCN, which was used to send out disinformation, that the match route was going to Christianburg. We saw how all of the floats that were on display on the 23rd in Georgetown were sent to Berbice. Not one was sent to Linden. And many of you, many persons were laughing that is one people, one nation, one destiny, one float. And we, what we guarded and what we wanted to ensure is that your rights were not taken away. The desire of the people, which was to go to Bela, was not trampled upon. And we, of course, with the support of the people of Linden, we were able to ensure that the Mashomani celebrations occurred here at Linden. Our candidates, of course, they were all validated by people within their constituencies. If I can give you our candidates and their background, of course, in the constituency 1 area, we have former regional chairman Sharma Solomon, who will be contesting in the elections in the first past the post. And of course, Sharma is a strategic consultant. He's the former regional chairman. former human resource manager, and president of the Upper Demerara Football Association, UDFA. He holds a degree in international relations from the University of Guyana. And many of you would have been following what has been happening. I just mentioned he is the former president of the Upper Demerara Football Association. We are tracking keenly the issue at the Mackenzie Sports Club ground, where our people have been calling for the government to consult for the dominant sport within the town to be that which is featured and which receives some amount of prominence at the facility. And so we are asking that the facility be upgraded to FIFA standard as against that being upgraded to ICC standard. We have already identified an alternate location at Retrieve, and we would have said to the Minister of Sports, Culture some time back that that is the facility that can be upgraded to ICC standard. And so we are happy that Mr. Solomon will be representing the issues there. And Amelia is what you know of the situation there, the Bamia Primary School. Over 100 million would have been given out to a contractor that is aligned to the PPP, and he can't even complete the first floor. And so those are the issues that we will be bringing. And so if these candidates, I am not aware of all of the candidates and what they bring, they're unpopular, we don't know them, but unlike that side, our candidates are competent people. We have a core team in place who will serve in the interest of the people of Linden. They have no personal agenda or vested interests like those on the other side. And I can say to you that we, of course, at the RDC will work together with our team to support all of the initiatives. In constituency 2, we have Ms. Vanessa Kissoon, who will be contesting there. She's a teacher by profession, former member of parliament and human rights activist and social worker. She's also the first vice chair of the Caribbean Association for Feminist Research and Action here in Guyana. And so we know that our women, our young girls, teachers, you can be assured of robust representation at the municipal level. In constituency 3, we have a young candidate, Marissa Robertson, a 22-year-old mother of one who is desirous of helping others and making the community of constituency 3, the Central Mackenzie Hub, here a better place for the people as their representative. She also has a strong commitment to serving the needs of the entire Central Mackenzie area and is driven to keep investing her time and improving our town and municipality. And of course, she will be assisted by a prominent businessman and philanthropist, Dominic Blair, who has been doing so much in our town. And he is among many of the young people doing things in the area of tourism and investment coming to our region. In constituency 4, we have Alicia Bentic, and of course with a focus on youth empowerment and community development, Alicia proudly serves the town of her birth through advocating for and working diligently to achieve improvements for constituency 4, opportunities to empower both men and women, including youths, from the core of our focus, to move their efforts into areas that could provide a sustainable income through training for involvement in micro enterprise with the support of the private sector and individual partners. And so she will be working in her constituency and at the municipality to ensure that robust representation is made in that sector. In constituency 5, we have Kwesi Parks. Kwesi has a diverse range of experience in both the private and public sector. In 2021, he founded the Silvertown Self-Help Program, which initiated a feeding program for senior citizens that same year. From 2015 to 2020, Kwesi served as the WISMA coordinator for the government of Guyana's CIIP program. In this role, he coordinated community development projects, ensuring that they were implemented effectively. He is also the chairman of the Medina Strait Agriculture Cooperative Land Society here at Linden, promoting sustainable agriculture practices in our community and supporting local farmers. He's passionate. He's a passionate community activist who has initiated many community projects that continue to focus on youth empowerment. And the fact that he is involved in the co-op, many of you know of the situation with the LUSCSL, and we need candidates, of course, who will represent that which our parents worked hard for, the LUSCSL. That co-op is under threat. Where an IMC was installed there, they have been there for close to a year now, or just over a year, I should say. And they have not acted in the interest of the people of Wismar. I don't understand why it is taking so long for the books and the records to be updated. And so we have to keep an eye on it. And based on our information, we heard and I saw via the press the Prime Minister indicating that there are going to be attempts to merge LUSCSL with LECI. And we believe that this is dangerous. Many of you know what occurred in 2012 when this very government attempted to increase electricity rates in the mining town of Linden. It led to protest action, and three of our residents lost their lives when the police fired upon innocent protesters. And so we fought then, and we must fight now to ensure that the co-op society remains in the hands of the people. In constituency 6, we have a young, talented female, Rochelle, is a business and engineering student in her second year of reading for a diploma in business management at the Linden Technical Institute. This brilliant daughter of Linden's soil would have graduated with an associate's degree in civil engineering and is currently on attachment. She's committed to the development of our community and the town of Linden. Rochelle is determined to work on behalf of all of the residents of Constituency 6 Christiansburg to realize sustainable development for these areas. Many of you know of the infrastructure issues that we've been having in the region. A road that was done, you saw the images, it deteriorated in 24 hours, and we believe by placing Rochelle and with your vote and ensuring that she secures the seat on the council, that we will have a technical person there to flag any corrupt activity that may be happening in the public works sector from the town council level, even as we at the RDC level continue to apply the necessary pressure. And when you look at the candidate who Rochelle will be going up against, it's a guy who spent most of his life out of Guyana. I think he couldn't even deal with the pressures of the PPP over the 23 years, and now he is returned. He's unpopular, and I ask that you support Rochelle Stewart in her endeavors to become the constituency candidate for Constituency 6. In Constituency 7, we have a candidate there, Lisa Turn, representing Constituency 7. She's loyal, Miss Lisa Turn. She's an educator and a very resilient and hardworking woman with a diploma in heavy equipment. She's a lecturer at the Linden Technical Institute, and so she interacts with many of your children, your students. And so I believe, just as the case within our community, she has an excellent rapport with people of all ages. And that is a reason why I believe you should support Lisa Thorne. Contrast her with the candidate on the other side, well, you will be surprised. And I understand that he is the candidate that they are hoping to become mayor, somebody who, it is alleged, would have been accused of burning down the Ministry of Health. And so Constituency 7, turn up and vote. It is important that everyone vote and vote early. Do not leave the house without other family members sleeping. You have to come out and vote for Lisa Thorne. We cannot afford at this point to allow persons with questionable character to be involved in our local government system. Imagine what will happen if the central government is able to control local government and the regional government as they are doing in the area of allowing the RU to carry out unlawful, not lawful decisions of the council, but he is God unto himself. And shooting down many of the things. I can say to you right now that many of the invoices for service providers here in Linden, the man who did the recording for the flag raising, the people who played the music for the matrimony celebration, the revelers who participated have not been paid, the service providers. If you give these people more power, think of what will happen to this town. And so I ask that you support our candidates so that we can ensure that we have a team there that is genuinely concerned about the social and economic well-being of our people here in Linden. In constituency 8, we have Onita Harry. Onita is actively involved in community service as a member of the Region 10 Road Safety Association and the Community Development Council, CDC. And she will expand those roles, of course, through dedicated service as the representative of constituency 8, West Rock Block 22. She has also served on the advisory committee of the Guyana Teachers Union, Upper Demerara branch. She's a people person who was born and bred in West Rock. Onita looks forward to serving the people of her community and Linden to ensure that their needs are met while the area continues, of course, representation for the area to grow and develop. Many of you would have seen us recently partnering under the Regional Economic Advancement Partnership Program with several persons, the U.S. Embassy, Food for the Poor, and so in areas where the government denies us, whether it is in the area of education, agriculture, information and communication technology, or sustainable jobs, we will ensure that we reach out and extend the hand of cooperation and partnership to those agencies to help, just like they came on board and helped the Wisbert School in the constituency 8 area. And I'm sure that Onita will be able to, of course, continue that robust representation on your behalf to ensure that that community is improved, both socially and economically.
Excellent, Regional Chairman. Thank you for walking us through the various candidates for councillor at local government. I know you also have happening simultaneously, you have Linden Tongue Week. It's a huge event. I see people coming in from all over the world, you know, to be a part of the Tongue Week. Tell us how that's going.
So, of course, you know, Linden will always have its challenges. Happy 53rd anniversary, of course, to all people, and on behalf of the RDC, it is indeed an honor to bring greetings to Madam Mayor, the Deputy Mayor, and councillors there. Many of you, and even I just stepped out briefly from the ceremony there, of course, as was done over the past 3 years, we have been writing to various ministries requesting that resources be sent to the region. The mayor would have just indicated that several letters were sent asking for assistance in the area of tourism, and none was acknowledged. In fact, the Public Works Ministry would have received several critical capital works, as was the Agriculture Minister. And we have not received a response from any of the government agencies. And so again, it goes back to this government believing that they can railroad the local democratic organs and have their way. It's either their way or nothing, or no way. And so Madam Mayor would have articulated that she would have written to several ministries. They have not responded. Of course, the Ministry of Public Works, which in the budget has funding allocated for urban road, miscellaneous roads. And so this is not a favor that is being done by anybody. It is your taxpayers' money. When councillors of the RDC and MNTC make the representation, like for garbage trucks, ask why 6 garbage trucks are parked at the municipality and have not been repaired over the past 3 years. And I ask you, the people of Linden, to do a comparative analysis. From 2015 to 2020, we were not seeing garbage piling up on the Market Square or on the Clark Crescent turn on our waterfront. How all of a sudden we are now seeing garbage every day? It is because the municipality has been starved for resources. The 18 million subvention is insufficient. Many of the issues that affect the town, when they are brought to the attention of ministers, they turn a blind eye on it. And so we have to, of course, as I indicated, be innovative and reach out to partners like the U.S. Embassy and others who recently, just a few days ago, they assisted 25 young women in a business program that they will see them training, going up to the U.S. and being connected with other giant companies and learning and getting experience from experts and so on. And so the tongue remains with the challenge. The tongue week, yes, we have been trying to ensure we incorporate educational programs. The Office of the Regional Chairman would have sponsored a first place trophy in collaboration with Linden Fund for the spelling bee competition. And so we will continue to promote educational programs, yes, while we will of course support those who want to participate in the fets, etc. We would have sent a strong message this time around because we were told that there were going to be attempts to lock the other persons out from making money during the tongue week period, and we said no, and so we partnered with the Linden Youth Network, an organization that has been around since 2018, and we hosted a regional community fair yesterday, which saw persons coming out. There was a man there, acrobatic person jumping through the ring with the fire, and we were able to the small man was able to bring their food out and their drinks, and they were able to sell and make some money. And we're happy that none of the events would have been shut down. Those who wanted to go to Amelia's ward were allowed to go there. Those who wanted to stay in Central Mackenzie, they were allowed to stay there. And those who wanted to go to Five Corner, they were allowed to stay there. And so we're happy that we were able to have a fun day. I just heard that a young boy drowned at the Bucktown. And so we want to ask persons to please ensure that you remain safe during the remaining days that are left for the event. It's unfortunate. My sympathy goes out to the family of that young boy. And we will continue to, as we go into another cycle, we want to ensure that we have more craft, more debating competitions, that young people, more art, musicians. At the RDC, we would have made representation and your taxpayers' dollars. We are going to be launching a music program in all of the schools, or a greater percentage of the schools, the secondary schools. We are currently procuring the drum set, the guitar, the saxophones. This is the talent basket for the country. And we want to ensure that music is brought back into the school. And that is why it was a policy decision of our council to ensure that we justify why the need is there, why it is necessary. Many of you see the Linden Music Corps when they play for our parade, the military parade, and we want to build on that. And that was a program that was actually started by the current leader of the opposition. It is the brainchild, the Linden Music Corps. And so while I know there were attempts to defund it in 2020, when a message came out from the Minister of Culture, Youth and Sports, they have been reaching out. We have been hiring them at the RDC, and we are keen, and I would have indicated that all musicians that operate under the RDC must be paid for their services. And that is why we will ensure that with these equipment that we would have purchased, we will continue to build on that and to ensure that the talent in Region 10 in Linden is fully realized.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you, Regional Chairman.
All right, folks. So that's some of what's going down at the local level where LGE is concerned. And of course, we got to keep you, our people, in the know. Thanks, Chairman Adams, for sharing all of that information with us. Knowledge is power, folks. And, as the chairman says, you got to go out there, boots on the ground. Vote early. We're going to be pushing for that folks ensure that they vote and vote early. Got to vote early, folks. Got to vote early. And folks, we can do our bit. Those of you in the diaspora as well, right? And you can do your bit by sharing the content, so that others get valid, credible information. That's just some of what's happening in Linden, and we're gonna touch base with those guys as often as we can to give you guys an update what's going on the ground. Tonight we're gonna be talking with former regional chairman Sharma Salman. You know the trying with him. He was detained over the weekend. He was arrested over the weekend. Big PPP mischief. PPP mischief. If this is strong on the ground, why are they doing all these foolishness? Why all the forgeries and fraud? Why all this skullduggery? Why all of that? So we're going to be talking with the one and only Sharma Salman tonight, folks, in the ring, doing what we got to do. But, folks, we want to do so much more in terms of bringing you the valid and credible information. We went all the way to Linden to get that. Got to be where the things happening, folks, on the ground. And here's how you can help us to do that, folks, by partnering with us. We're available via Cash App and Zelle and PayPal, MMG, MoneyGram, Western Union as well. Good, folks. We know the whole thing. The whole thing. We want to let you know as well what's going on. This is how you guys can help us to keep on keeping on. This is how you guys can help us to move forward. Partner with us. Good, folks. Not a month. Bills got to be met, folks, but it's a labor of love. It's a labor of love. Cash App, Zelle, PayPal, MMG, MoneyGram, Western Union as well. Good, folks. You got any query? 627-6963 is the one number. Here's the one number. That's going to do it for us at this end, folks, until we see you guys back this evening in the ring. Onika Osborne. How are you doing, Onika? Sharon Castillo Edwards. How are you? Shireen Baines. Good to have you. Hazelin King, we see you as well. Vanessa Seymour and all the other guys joining us. Great to see you. Vanessa Seymour. Great to see you. Sharon McPherson. Yolanda Thomas. Good to see you as well. And then Kosi Williams. Annette Gordon. Great to see you, Annette. And good to see you, Paula Phillips, and all the folks. Yep. Is it Delight One? What kind of name is this, man? Come on, folks. Delight One. Guys, wherever you're joining us from, thanks for coming by. Smash that emoji button before you go. Hundreds of you still watching us. Rami and all you folks. Maxine Monroe, Bantu King. Smash that emoji button before you go. Those folks joining us on Facebook and on the tube. The tubers, smash that emoji button. Give us every tweet if you're joining us on Twitter. Good, folks. Good to have each and every one of you here with us. Smash that emoji button. Give us a share. Clear Access Family Richmond, good to see you. Magnell Barrow, Ingrid Carter. Good to see you, folks. Have a great afternoon. We're going to see you guys on our final program for the day. In the ring and it, folks. Who vex? That's our time. That's our program. Stay safe out there, folks. Stay safe. Share the live. Smash the emoji button. Please, partner with us as well. Stay safe.